All right, so we're given a quadratic equation here, and we're asked to rewrite it in vertex form. Now, let's talk about vertex form for a second. So first of all, the standard form of a quadratic is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, that's what we were given. So that's the form that they gave us was the standard form. They want us to change that into vertex form, and vertex form looks like this. Y equals a times x minus h, and that's squared plus k. So vertex form, the reason you want to do this is because vertex form can be easier to graph in, and so that's why you might want to do this. So this, as far as Algebra 1 goes, this is pretty tough problem. This is one that my students have trouble remembering. So you might want to go over this a couple different times. But here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do something called completing the square to create a perfect square trinomial. And so let's start off with our equation. So we have y equals x squared plus 4x plus 3. And I want to create a perfect square trinomial by completing the square. And the way you do that is by taking your b value and dividing it by 2 and then squaring that. So my b value here is the 4. The b is the coefficient of x. And so that would be 4 over 2 squared. So that 4 divided by 2 is 2. Square that and you get 4. So the number 4 will complete the square. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our equation y equals, and I'm going to take the first two terms, x squared plus 4x, and then this 4, I'm going to add to that. And so what I've done is right here, I've created a perfect square trinomial. Now then I still have the plus 3, so I'm going to put the plus 3 out here. And you might be thinking, well, with an equation, you can do whatever you want, but if you're going to do something, you got to do it on both sides of the equation, right? So if I'm going to add 4 over here, that means I need to add 4 over here. So adding 4 changes this. So I'm going to do a little trick here. Instead of adding 4 on the left side, I'm just going to subtract 4 over here because I'll be adding 4 and subtracting 4, and then that means they just cancel each other out. So let's do that. So I added 4, so now I'm going to subtract 4 to cancel that out. And again, the 4 came from the b value over 2 squared. That's where I got this number. All right. Now, this in the parentheses, again, I told you is a perfect square trinomial. And so when you factor that, it factors to, so let's start with this, y equals, it factors to x plus 2 squared. So you're looking for two numbers that multiply to 4 and add to 4. So that would be 2 and 2. And so they're both positive 2. So that's why this is called a perfect square trinomial, because it comes out to this. And then I still have the plus 3 minus 4 over here. So let's go ahead and put that in there. 3 minus 4 gives me negative 1. So I write minus 1. And I am now in vertex form. All right, my A value is just 1. There's nothing there. Here's my H value. Here's my K value. And that's that. So that's how you can convert from standard form into vertex form. And again, this is pretty tricky. My students have trouble remembering this. So I would encourage you to watch this maybe a couple times and maybe find some more problems to do and practice with. All right, so keep working hard. You're doing great. You will master the math.